It's a new year.
It's a new day. It's a new year. It's a new day. And I'm feeling good. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. Happy New Year.
Welcome to 2024. Like play. It's 2024. Right?
Okay. It is.
Yes, it is.
Interesting stuff. Interesting.
So we hope you had like a wonderful festive period leading into the new year, and we hope you're starting the new year like hopeful, joyful, ready for the best.
Yep.
Just starting the new year hopeful and looking forward to a lot of great stuff.
Yes, the wonderful things that the new year brings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to a fresh start, because January 1 feels like the day you hit reset, but really it's just tomorrow. it's just the tomorrow, like
it's just a new day. But it's everything is about the mind. So if it works for you, we're in feeling like, okay, I'm going to get started on this, I'm going to get started on that. Sure, why not? Go for it.
I was already thinking of how I'm going to start setting goals again and having like a board to see where
vision board.
But you can check out our previous
we had an episode about New Year resolutions. That was a good one.
All of that.
Even I need to listen to that again to remind myself
ourselves. Absolutely.
Of everything.
Yes, take a listen, watch it, and hopefully, because we're not going to do another one since you already have that. Just go copy and paste. It's like a Mariah Carey. All I
right. Once it's New Year,
go back to it. But that's it. I'm excited. Obviously, work continues.
Yes,
life continues, and hopefully those things we're not able to achieve in the previous year,
we go again.
We move.
We go again.
We absolutely move.
We go again. We don't give up.
No. Because you didn't achieve it in the past year, does not mean you cannot achieve it this year. Bible, spiritual goals, financial goals, emotional, all those other goals, relationship goals, everything. This new year, we're going to do it. We'll try our best to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, that said, today's episode is, I don't know, it's an interesting one. I don't know if we should call it a hot take one, but
kind of, sort of,
But what we had come across this video on social media. I don't know if it's a pastor that was watching reading out something, a question that a woman had. She had done her traditional wedding ceremony. A little backstory: in Nigeria, typically you have 3 wedding ceremonies: traditional, the court, and the church. So this woman was asking or telling the pastor that she had done her traditional wedding and the husband wanted them to participate in sexual activities before the church wedding. I don't know how far away the church wedding was or how long the church wedding was going to be, but typically for Christians, they tend to say, do the church wedding and that's the final thing and then you're done, right? Because I know that for my wedding, the pastor had said, we like that you put the church wedding, we would want you to put the church court just
before
a couple of days or so before the church wedding, so that you are not led to sin, or you will not commit, you will not be tempted, right? Not led to sin, but you will not that kind of thing. So the woman was asking that the husband wants to, but I don't really want to. How do we go about it? And then the pastor's face was like, you have done traditional wedding. As in, is that half marriage? Do you have a half husband? Because she was saying something like whether we're not fully married, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's what we'll be discussing today.
When are you actually
married?
And
at the church.
The context is largely Nigerian and African. I would think that maybe in a lot of African countries too, it might be the same, where you have like the traditional, like I can imagine like a Zulu wedding, and then maybe if you're a Christian, maybe you would go to
a church wedding.
The church wedding.
Yeah.
So it might also be Africans. Other Africans might be able to relate. So now, the question is, when are you actually married?
When?
At what point do you become husband and wife?
I think we. Anyway, we will need
let it out. It's a safe space.
Is it we need to trace when church weddings started in Nigeria.
I think it's pretty easy. It was with Christianity coming into the country.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just with, like you said, colonialism.
It's one of those things that they left with us.
Yes, and people embraced it, and it's really beautiful. You have like your gorgeous wedding dress, and then we added all of these bridal train, and all of that.
There's lots of stuff.
So, but yeah, I think that's how it got into. Before then, you would have like the usual for I can only talk for the Yoruba part. You have like the alari, If I remember my Yoruba classes,
yes, I remember that alari.
Yes, you have alari, that basically a go between.
Middleman,
As a middleman between the groom's family and the bride's family, and that the courtship is like with the help. Because say the alari is almost like a chaperone. Yeah. So this and that, and then eventually they will get married. Traditionally, like it was just, and the thing was just a day. Even the traditional weddings back then was not with this much,
fanfare.
Like the way we would do ashwebi,
premium entertainment.
That one, now it's like this huge thing. Then it was just okay. They will pick a day, pack everything, pack all the stuff. They will go to the bride's family, bride's compound, drop everything and all of that. Then they will go back. The parents will give their blessings, pray and all of that. Then the bride will go back with them. So they will drop all this stuff, jam this and that, and then the bride will go back with them. They will go back singing for the bride and all of that. Then they will pour water on the bride's feet.
Okay.
Before the bride enters their
home. That's interesting.
Pour water, like, your time will be peaceful, refreshing, like, it's just symbolic.
So did they used to... I forgot what I wanted to ask. Oh yes, I remember. Did the groom used to live with his parents?
I think it was like a compound thing back then. Okay. Like, there would just be this compound, and then each person will have like their hut.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, such that I think back that's where you even have like the they're waiting for the ibali, that's the virginity. Like, so the husband is supposed to dangle like a white handkerchief stained with blood through the window, and then so while they are indoors doing their thing, everyone is still like outside drinking palm wine, and I'm acting like I was there.
Oh my god, I bet.
I'm describing it as if I was there, but just depiction from stories, movies and all of that. That's what I get from all of that. But yeah, and then they were married. Like, that was it. And then of course even the court part of it also came in with colonialism. Having like the government. I believe so, because it was just traditional. You just go and then you're married. But of course, everything was becoming more modern. You needed a legal
document
thing to show that you're actually married. So of course, so with modernization, education and all of that, there was also the need for you need the court wedding. So then of course you had the church. And even for the church, some of the things that we actually do now in church is not even church per se. It's just really Western wedding. I'm trying to put it in a way that is politically correct.
Okay.
But like, it's just embracing or borrowing from another culture, essentially. Like, it's not really a church wedding. It's just we're borrowing from how, because I say that because there are people that do the same thing here that are not affiliated to the church in any way. They are atheists.
Yeah.
And they have like the same, dressing, train, and all of those things. So when you look at it, what makes it church is the blessing from
so, spiritual leader.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, with that part, with atheists doing their thing and still doing according, it could just be marriage now. When you see something growing up, it's like, oh, I like it, I'm going to do that, but without the God factor.
I think it's just their own culture.
I
get what you mean,
people
though.
They have been white people have been quite like this religion, they've had it for years.
Yes.
So I think
maybe
it probably started as that, but then as people, and that was the only form of wedding they probably knew of. I don't know.
Possibly.
And maybe then if someone doesn't believe in that, they're like, okay, I'll just do that.
Okay.
But without
I get that. But
some people just do this. Once you are you're signed to your certified to officiate a wedding, the person will do it and they'll still wear their white dress. Because like, what else would they wear?
Yeah. But the reason I say that it's culture in terms of like the white dress and bridesmaids and all of these other titles that we give is, what says church about any of these things?
Oh no,
because those are not like,
no, it doesn't have any.
Because even if we're looking at the early church, it's not really, and I could be wrong, but nothing about that really says Roman Catholic tradition to me. That's why I really feel like it's more of a Western culture, like wearing the white, like it's about like the purity, like a new bride, the virgin bride. So that's why I feel like there's that influence of their, because of course, like if they brought Christianity to us, their version of Christian traditions would have been influenced by their own culture. Because imagine we took Christianity to somewhere else. Church wedding would have been maybe something you do in your ashoke or
absolutely.
something. Because so it will still be like Jesus is there, God is there, pastor is there, but the bride is wearing ashoke
with gele
and the groom is wearing babariga, ashoke and abeti ajafila.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Actually. So that's what I'm saying, that like, so the fact that now we do church, but we do church with like the Western attire, so to say. You have the suit, you have the tux, you have the bow tie, you have the white wedding dress.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's like, people will look, I mean, a lot of people are trying to try like the unconventional stuff, but you will look really odd if your church wedding, that's when you tie gele. And so we'll put the gele and kini for traditional.
Yes, that's my traditional wedding.
And then the suit and white dress for church
wedding.
So anyway, back to the actual question, because I feel like we kind of veered off.
Yes, we have.
But it's just to give like background, especially to people that are probably not Nigerian or African. But anyway, back to the question: when are you actually really married? I think that you're married when you're married. So
when are you married?
Like, I don't think that you need several ceremonies to be married.
No,
is my point essentially. So if you decide you only want to do the traditional wedding, then you're married after you do the traditional wedding. If you're doing only the courts, you're married after that. If you're doing only church, and thankfully I think a lot of churches in Nigeria actually work with
the court system.
So you can actually sign your documents right there in church, and you don't even have to book another appointment to go into registry. So then you're married. Like, you could do just that.
But if you do church without courts,
you don't marry. Because you have nothing to show for it. So you're just common law partner. So, and this is why I don't think that you're not married after your traditional until you do your church. Now, here is the question. If you feel married after your traditional, or if technically you're married after your traditional or your court wedding, and you start doing married people stuff, you start having sex, why? I don't know, like, why do you need, because I just feel like it will be weird doing the church wedding when you're already married. Like, I don't know, like, I know that we're already doing things. And
this has always been my
we're standing there and they're saying, do you take this woman? Do you?
I don't have a choice but to take you. I'm taking you.
So, do you get? I don't know. So, and I think ultimately, this thing is very simple. It's better, like, don't put yourself in that situation where you have the kind of, turmoil that this lady is going through. If you are the kind of person that your background is such that you have to do all three, my sister, my brother, put everything in the same, like, let's take like 3 days, so that you're not even bothered about this. Am I actually sinning? Because you're not. But the problem is you're going to feel like you are, because it just feels weird. Like, you're married, you're already, like, you've consummated your marriage, and then you're going into church like you're not married. It just feels like a sham. Like, what are we doing? So it's better to do it all at once, when you know that you will not even have time. You are chasing makeup artists, you are calling this, nobody, you are not going to have that time to even think of being tempted. Like, it's all one, so somehow you'll be able to view it as all part of one ceremony. Like, maybe you do your court on a Wednesday, and then you do traditional Friday, and then church on Saturday, or even people now do traditional in the morning, and then they do on the church on Saturday.
Same day. Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
I've like, just finish it once.
See, we're already in the marriage, we're already spending money, I'm already cooking, I'm already doing everything. What am I going to do a traditional wedding? Or I think at that point I've said this even before I found someone to get married to. I'm like, I will not be doing that, because I can save my money. I'm already married. I'm already, so I
forget about it.
Personally, I think people can adopt that line of thought, because there is no, it almost feels like, what are we even doing? I think if you must have it, because some people, it's because of money that they would do a court wedding just to sign papers
and then wait,
and then do a ceremony later, because they want to have that grand celebration, because they want it.
But that's the thing, the grand ceremony doesn't need to be the wedding.
No, so what I'm trying to say is, I said that, say, if you must do that, you can take out the blessing, let the pastor come and bless you during your traditional, or if you really want someone to come and bless the wedding, the person can come and bless the wedding during the first wedding ceremony that you do. So instead, you can say, we're having a reception, we're having a delayed reception. You can do, if you must have a reception.
In fact, see, if you want to still have your white wedding dress, maybe you've always had a dream wedding dress, you can do it. Can be somewhat like a renewal or celebration of, call it anything. My sister, my brother, people will come and eat food. People love parties. Like, call it anything. Celebration of love, vow renewal, whatever.
Vow confirmation.
Like, call it anything. You can dress up, you can feel good and do all of that, but you're not like suffering. Because I cannot imagine you do traditional wedding and you're waiting 6 months. Why bother do, like, Konid? It's not necessary.
But I must say, if both of you, husband and wife, have agreed to not consummate your marriage until you... I was watching a video and they said if you've waited for this long, surely you can wait.
The question is, why are you waiting?
Yes, because people are waiting because they don't feel married. They feel they are not married until their pastor comes and blesses the marriage.
And if that's the case, then why not do your pastor stuff? Because it doesn't have to be big.
So that's the thing. I remember my mom, I was telling my mom that, do we have to go to a church building to do the wedding, the joining? Can't we just have a pastor come into the reception hall? And she said, no, when is that? I think she said, like or something like that. It's like, when is that? If
I got pregnant before out of wedlock. I'm like, huh? That's so... It was very... So some people are think that way. I still think it doesn't have to be big.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
There are ways so here's the thing. If it's not going to bother you, then fine, do whatever you want to do. But if you are going to put yourself in that kind of situation and now be bothered because there's one party that is like, boy, you're my wife, or boy, you're my husband, it becomes a problem. Because what are you doing then?
Do you know that even if it's a few days, you're doing the 3 ceremonies over 3 days, you can still have that one day in between.
That are we not?
So it's not even about keeping you for 6 months. It's not about can be 2 months. I bet you like, but we're married now. Especially, it's worse when you do court first, because that one's even like
legal anything.
If we go to any country,
like you can change your name right here as a lady. Like,
you are married.
Anything you're feeling, any document, any form you're feeling after that point, your marital status is
if
married.
They say single or married, you can't say you're single.
Because you're married.
You are married.
So that's why it's difficult to explain and I'll say, you are sinning.
I think it's that, I want to say maybe purity culture and sin consciousness.
Sure.
I think that's what would explain that, especially if you are delaying to consummate the wedding. I'm talking about months right here. If it's the same way, you can say, let's just wait. It's not right now. Let's finish this wedding. There are things to be done. I cannot be thinking about this right now.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's months, maybe it's that whole sin consciousness. We feel like let's just wait. Feeling like until a pastor has come, until you do it inside a church building or whatever, or until you wear the white dress, feeling like until you do that you're not married. Sometimes I think it comes with that sin consciousness. We may need to go back a bit into history and see how things were done. I understand that, I don't know, maybe without Christianity, maybe there was I don't even think it was done with jazz or whatever, right? I don't think that's how it was. It really just has to be 2 families agreeing.
No, it was not. No, it was not
2 families agreeing. And I think even if you must do that, just again take your pastor and just say, we want you to bless this. Of which, if your father is your pastor, hasn't he blessed it? Because your parents will pray for you. Yeah. And most times you would even do premarital counseling before the wedding, right? It's just that for some people, since the church wedding is months down the line, they do the premarital counseling before and start, and they are living together.
I cannot imagine that doing anything months down the line. I'm not doing anything. It's
torture.
You're
just torturing yourselves.
Like, that's it.
You not say, we'll just do small. We'll not go the whole 9 years.
Which is? Why?
My friend, don't delay. Waste of sin. If you say it's sin, just do the whole sin from beginning to the end. Right? So instead of not saying we'll do half, we'll do the other half after. Saying you are compromising. No, that's not. Just do the whole thing. Right? So you're definitely not sinning because you're married. And you just need to understand. I think that God is not even counting. Well, has your family agreed? Has his family agreed? Or her family agreed?
And both of you agreed.
And both of you agreed.
Finish.
Yes. Have you signed the document? Yes. The family agreeing would be for trial now because you don't sign anything. For court, have both families agreed and have you signed the document? Yes.
That's really what.
That's
any other thing is Jara for your own. You just want to do it. You love to do it.
Just really. I just did it as the ceremony, the white wedding this year. And the traditional weddings are so beautiful, so rich in culture that you will not be like, church wedding is do you, I do, we do. We kiss the bride, really. I mean, we kiss each other, we leave the building, and it's time to welcome the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
I really like when I see people do, unconventional wedding styles. So maybe from trad to reception, and it's beautiful. Or even those who do, if they want to do the church wedding and they do it, they just invite a pastor to come to the ceremony. I like that. I really, unfortunately, I did not have my way, and I was not mad at it. It was whatever for me. But I think one hill I have stood on and will forever stand on. And I think my mom was with me, was, do cuts now, then in so and so months, do this thing. It's okay if you people are because there are some people who have to do that style. Maybe they are in a long distance relationship.
And it's difficult to.
If I've come home this time and we were getting married, we might as well just sign the legal paper to say we're married. And maybe I have to go back the next day. And then, there was no chance
for a lot of people, it's we need to put an application in now.
Yes, for us to be together,
whatever. So let's just get it over with. Some people have to do it like very quickly. So we don't have like the time to plan
a big event just to get that paper. No, just enter the court and sign something. Yes, you're married. You court wedding, you even kiss.
Yes, now they will tell you.
So that's sin. It's not sin. The kissing that you were seeing in they were doing in the car. No, it's still sin. If you want to be counting every single thing one after the other, I'm not giving anybody a license or whatever to sin, but we're just saying that sometimes I think rethink these things. I think people need to
understand why. Why? Okay, what is actually the wedding and what does it mean to be married? Like, what are the requirements? Like, you will not find church as a requirement anywhere. Like, okay, this is what needs to be in place before you're married. Like, okay, yes, because of what we believe, we want to celebrate with our people, our brethren and all of that. So yes, that's fine, that's lovely, but it's not an actual requirement. Like, okay, tick, you have to do this before.
So and some people say, like, because weddings are such a cultural thing. You go to Belgium and how they do weddings is different from even within the same Nigeria set.
Yes,
absolutely. It's not everyone who, and it's not because they don't like God or they are not Christians. It's just like it's not really necessary. You go to, I don't know, any of the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah,
you go to wherever. It's different everywhere. So if I don't think there will be one unified way of doing weddings. But if that
the laws of your own land
would affect it, and I think that trumps a church wedding. Yeah. So, as long as you if it's important to you, having your spiritual leader come bless the wedding, I think you are married.
Yeah,
you're married. It's that simple. And this thought process that I've come to right now was a bit hard for me to accept because it was.
That's what you've always known.
I was like, wait, what? No, Hey, what do you mean? But when you understand, when you listen to conversations, hear people talk, you do your own research yourself. You see how weddings have been done in the past in different areas, and the introduction of the church wedding. But hey, if you want to do church wedding, by all means. And one thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if I eventually did, was both of you need to be in agreement.
What do we want?
Is it are we going to do courts and then we can start having sex, or is it because people make it look like the people who want to have sex before they do their ceremony are sex freaks and they cannot just wait 2 more months. They cannot just wait 6 more months. But forgetting that this person, you love the person, you're attracted to the person. Most times you'll be in the same. If some people start living together, so you'll be in the same space. So are you supposed to be covering your body and be doing this and be doing up and down, be working on eggshells around your spouse? No. So I think people should stop shaming people
or judging them.
Yes, if they have to do that, stop shaming them, stop judging them. And for those who are not going to accept to consummate the wedding for this thing, hopefully your eyes will be open.
And hopefully the most important thing, if you're on the same page with your
spouse, yes, you guys can wait. Absolutely,
it will be very unfortunate if that's like the reason why you start having issues with your spouse.
Yeah, like, still new in the marriage. It's supposed to be a pleasurable, enjoyable thing, not something that you're fighting over. Because some people will now eventually, I don't want to fight, you now give in.
Yeah, and then
you
now
be rubbish.
Resentment and all of that. Like, what kind of man is this? He could not even wait. Is he a sinner?
If you love me, you will
is
wait.
He really a believer? And all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to be on the same page. So, if both of you think that, okay, we're not doing that until whenever.
Perfect, as long as you're on the same page. But let me tell you something. One day, you just hear tap on your hand. You will just feel the tap. I say, Hafa.
With the one I cannot even imagine is. So I don't think people that think that way will live together, Sha.
Yeah, but you see, there may be a situation
where they can't help it.
Yes, maybe you travel to somebody's house and they're like,
and that's true. How will you ask for a separate room? What's happening? Are you fighting?
She cut. You just did your cut wedding. No, please, boys room, girls room. Can I? Instead, you now want to sleep in the same room as the son of the person or all this kind of things. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that even if you sleep in the same room, it cannot happen. But we're talking about if it's for a long period of time, it's gonna be difficult. But yes, definitely, you have self-control, so you can control yourself. It's not a do or die affair. Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. So we think your thoughts on marriage.
We have been able to convince you and not confuse you that you're married when you're legally married. Finish.
What about traditionally? Yes, nah.
Well, I don't.
Because there are some people
that only do traditional.
Yes.
So that's the thing. So yeah, also married, but the difference is. If you ever need to do anything legally and the only marriage you did was traditional, you would be seen as common law partners.
I even hear that there's a document they give to traditional people.
Like customary court?
Yes, I think so.
But that's still kind of, if you do customary courts, then that's still
court wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's still court wedding. We're talking like proper traditional. You're not signing anything.
Not signing documents. Okay.
So that's like the only. To me, I still believe you're married. Like if that's what you believe, but
if you need to,
you can go through life. No, even you can file for anything as common law partners. Actually.
Yeah.
Really, there are people that's like it's recognized, it's accepted, but
if also that your church members be giving you bombastic side eye.
So really, even with that, you're married. But I think I would rather just do the
courts, like
court one. Yeah,
I know that because it's recognized everywhere.
Yeah, like just more at ease.
Yeah. That's it, people. It was a nice conversation.
Let's know what you think. I
know that people will definitely disagree and say, these people, they are backsliding. This is not what I signed up for.
But yeah, let's hear your thoughts. What do you think? When do you think people are actually married? Like, can people have sex after their traditional wedding, court wedding, or they have to wait until after church wedding?
Until you actually say I do, and the pastor says
let's know what you think, and don't forget to share this with your friends to ask them what do they think.
What do they really think?
Yeah.
And to let them don't just have the conversation, you put it on our social media. Help us to grab our comment section. What's wrong with you people? Go to the comment section, let's know what we're doing. And that's on YouTube, right? Something like podcast. Please follow us there, subscribe. Yeah, that's what it's called. Subscribe. On Twitter and Instagram at S_lightpod.
Yeah.
On Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
Something Light Podcast. Thank you very much for helping our ministry. You are blessed.
Yeah. And that's it for this episode. And again, have a truly amazing New Year.
Yes.
Amen. Yeah. It's going to be an amazing 2024.
Amen.
Woo-hoo.
Amen, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. See you in the next episode. Don't forget to keep shining as the light
that you are. Bye.
Toodles.